Hi, Warriors. Traders call me Coach. How's everyone doing? Those of you watching us on YouTube on the live stream, want to invite everyone to come and join us on our platform at www.tradegatehub.com. It's a very simple registration. You're going to get a lot of great content from our community that's already here, and you'll get more ongoing commentary as the trading day moves along throughout the session of both the US, Asia, and we have coverage in Europe as well. And I just want to start off with what I talked about yesterday when gold was trading up here at the 1797 level. I said get short with stops over the high of the move, which was a $10 risk approximately. And you currently have about $40 made on it. So, I'm a big believer in taking partial profits. If you recall, patience pays, because, everyone said you have to get long or you're going to miss it. And we were rejected from this neckline resistance level now. And I always thought that we would head back down towards this level to put in a right shoulder. It may end up being a little deeper. And I was going to use the gold to key in on a silver buy. And silver actually looks like it can make a new low. Okay, so that was the forecast, that gold puts in a higher low above this low on the flash crash, and silver makes a new low. So looks like we're on our way. If you were short going into this, these lows in both silver and gold, congratulations. But remember, it's not a profit till you take it, and you don't go broke taking partial profit. So if you're short from yesterday, put something in the bank. Also, something else I want to talk about, it's not only getting to a price, it's how it gets to a price. And I'm not going to just blindly buy it. I'm going to need to see some positive action, because when you look at the weekly, it's kind of a negative look in the gold. And I have pointed it out that should we take out this 1680 level with the high being 2080, just a measurement, simple math, cover up the title that it's gold, especially if you have a bullish bias on the gold. But if we start cracking this on a closing basis, you're talking about 1400, 1380 or so in the gold, because this is a $400 formation. My bias is that we put in a higher low and then eventually break out over this trend line 1857 and make a run at the highs. So we'll see if that pans out. Euro, basically the same thing about having patience. I talked about, when we came in Monday, we had this little reversal, and I said, well, I might miss it. So it was good for about 80 pips, but I still felt that we were going to get some type of break down into this wedge line. We're right at the pivot now, so I'll be watching the dollar here around the euro around 1730. Actually, this is not bad action, what we're getting in euro pound, but I think I'll leave it alone. The next thing I want to talk about is the stock indexes, which are coming back right now. But so far what you have in the indexes is a retracement in NASDAQ to the 50% level. So I still think there's a shot for this to be a failing rally. We could still try 61.8. When you look at the S&Ps, they're a little weaker. They have not even achieved the 50% level. Still my belief that last week was a top and that this is not a bottom. And the next break could take us to what a lot of people finally throw in the towel, should we be able to take out this low at 43.5, which is what it measures. If we get something like this from up here, some fib extension from here would take us back down to the 43.40 level. So keeping an eye on that, that's important. Today, the NASDAQ is actually weaker for the first time. And one of the reasons is the whipsaw action in Japanese yen. I thought we were breaking down yesterday. Scratched the trade when it turned up. This could still be a sell in the end, but it's really something I think I'm just going to avoid trading now. I look at it, we could get this move up to 112, and 112 is not going to be constructive for the bond market. It's going to be negative for the bond market. And right now you're looking at 10-year yields after really getting smashed. You see it better on a 2-hour chart. Look how we got smashed. We had the weak CPI and the weaker NFP. We've had mainly weaker numbers until today's retail sales, but now it looks like that we're going to try and make another move above or to that resistance at 136. You know, the longer the market knocks on the door at resistance, the weaker that resistance becomes. It's really like, you know, if you're trying to break a door down, maybe at first when you put your shoulder into it, it doesn't do much. But after 3-4 times of going into it, yeah, you'll break the locks, you'll get in the door, and you'll break through. And that's kind of a similar situation with support and resistance levels in the market. So it looks like we're going to make a move to the upside here in yields, and you know that should be less bullish for tech. Actually, tech has more problems with higher yields than cyclical stocks and oil stocks. So we'll see how this all plays out. S&Ps, you know, they're trying to reverse, but you know, I look at this action and it still could be a failing rally. So we'll see what we get out of this. I have to give this topping action for now the benefit of the doubt and look at what's happening from yesterday's lows, which, you know, if you want to look at what happened down here, is you had a third drive to a bottom. Okay, so called that out, said we could have a long scalp. You know, we could still trade up around 4,500, be 61.8 back. So I don't think the bear case was disrupted by having a pretty bullish rally yesterday. I think there was probably a lot of shorts that got squeezed, and a lot of people probably looked at the daily and said, wow, we're right up against the trend line. Every time we've hit this trend line, we've rallied. See that, see that, see that. So it looked like just another one of those tests of that trend line. And probably a lot of people talking about new highs for the move. I think it has some work to do, especially if yields are going up and if the dollar does not turn. And, you know, I'm looking at the euro as a possible buy, but you look at the dollar index and, you know, long term, I could be bearish a dollar, but the action looks pretty good here, guys. And the dollar rallying is a wrecking ball, not just for gold, but all commodities. So if we're on our way, and this was just a running correction, running flat, we're on our way to 96 now. Most markets will not perform because a stronger dollar puts pressure on prices, meaning the dollar is strong. It takes less dollars to buy something because of dollar strength, and that still seems to be going on. A lot of whippy action in copper. So copper is actually down with the precious metals. And I know it looked like we had head and shoulders here, but to me, I look at copper and I go, here's your first higher low, and here's your second higher low. And if we start taking out this support here at 430 and 412, we're on our way to, you know, 3 handle at the minimum. So that's part of what's going on here. Oil, you know, it still hasn't made a new high when you look at the daily. And I know a lot of people are saying, you know, we're going to 81. I know some people talking over 100. And it's in a position right here where I can't buy it up here. And I still have a little bit too much short-term momentum with the RSI making this high up here on the 4-hour, on the 2-hour. But I'll be stalking it because I still think there could be a short setting up there. Let's take a look at what some of the strong FANG and MAGA stocks are doing today. Also, yeah, let's go right to there. Bitcoin had a great recovery from these two smashes. still way below, and it could still just be a retracement of this smash up here, and we could have another wave to the downside. Ethereum acting a little better, but I can't chase up here. I'd like to see liquidity, just like it's hitting gold, hit the cryptocurrency space too. So, and just a quick look at some gold stocks that are opening. This one, I thought we'd go down to about 350. It's Yamana Gold. And it looks like that narrative is on course. GDX, we're getting a new low. I like this 27 to 28 level for gold longs. And Newmont, maybe we're going to see before it's done the weekly moving average, maybe another $10 or so. We are starting to diverge a little bit on a couple of these golds. Newmont's the weakest. GDX, let's see, the RSI and GDX still diverging from here, but lower. Be alert for what happens around the we have the fall equinox. Okay, so that's coming up next week. The Fed's coming up next week. So there's going to be a lot of things to look at as far as risk and gold and currencies and S&Ps. Again, the NASDAQ's trying to give up the ghost here. Let's take a look at what some of the MAGA and FANG stocks are doing. Apple tried to rally back to the breakdown. Okay, this was a wedge line breakdown right here, and it's rolling over. Here's your daily look. And this was really, take a picture of this. Really a nice looking 3 drive to a top formation in Apple, and we're flirting with a breakdown of the wedge line. I think 130 is viable, $18 break, and we get through there, it's going to be a pretty extensive correction. So there's your look at Apple. Looks like it's rolling over, and their dog and pony show did nothing to negate what happened last week. Tesla, still grinding sideways. I think eventually we're going to get some type of breakdown there. Amazon under pressure today. Again, I talked about us not being able to fill the big gap that we had on an earnings disappointment. Microsoft tried to make a new high yesterday. I'm not sure if we got there. The high was 305.30. I think we missed it by 50 cents, 305.84. And you could tell that we're probably, even if Microsoft does have a chance to make a new high here, that we won't confirm on the daily. Let's look at the 4-hour, probably won't confirm on the 4 hours. So this was the star last week that really lit up NASDAQ on this move that we had last week. Google has been acting pretty stiff, but we have a little bit of a pause here in Google. I can't rule out another high in Google, but it's starting to act, wedgy, acting a little bit tired. Netflix has been a star, but looks like it could correct to 540 or so. And then Facebook, got hit with some negative news regarding Instagram yesterday, and this is really a classic non-confirmation top here in Facebook. So there's your look at really, these are the stocks that are holding up the market. The capitalization that they have comparatively. Here's your triple Qs. Look like they're trying to roll over. Here's your, this is something that I'll be looking at probably in the next couple of weeks with silver making new lows. I have some confluence here at about $11 on the, these are the junior miners, silver. And then, we have 61.8 back at 10. So to me, this is just a correction, just like silver. In fact, the silver stocks look much stronger than silver does itself. So, maybe the miners are going to finally take the lead on the next rally up. Junk bonds had a nice rally last week, and it never really gave up the ghost because people get higher yields there, whereas the investment grade corporate bonds have not made a new high, and looks like they're putting in a failing rally here as well. So get prepped. We only have 1 day left in the week. Normally, I would expect with a kind of negative week that we have in gold and we have in silver that will have follow through into early next week. When you think about it, markets that have been under pressure, and the dollar really hasn't exactly been screaming. Now they're taking the S&Ps down pretty hard. To me, I think that we had top last week, and most people are going to be expecting the garden variety 10% correction. And I think we're going to get that, and we'll probably bounce from there. But I'm looking for much lower levels over the next couple months if this turns out to be a significant top. You only know if you have a top in a rear view mirror. But we were there with the off number last week. Now that 45.11 stop looks pretty good. 45.11 off number looks pretty good, with us being about 50 handles lower. VIX, not acting like a superstar, but not acting bad either. I think that we could get another test of this 25 level. And if we break out, I think we could see 35 to 38. Our mission here at TradeGateHub.com is to build up and edify traders every day. I want to wish those that are celebrating Yom Kippur a great solemn day for them. And to all my trading warrior brothers and sisters, good hunting. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And again, welcome you to join our community. And if these videos are helping you and adding value, please give it a like. We welcome your comments. And like I said, in the gold here, you can't always do what bullion dealers say. They say, don't wait to buy gold and wait. I think we're getting close to an area where you could do that, but I still believe timing is everything. So everyone have a great trading day. Hope you caught some of this massive down in the gold, and then you'll have some more firepower for eventually looking to buy it. Okay, so we'll see. Silver, how far from a new low? I don't think too far now from the flash crash. So let's see what happens at 22. So those are my calls. And remember, don't just count your bars and coins or your shares of equity or your oil wells or your crypto or your FX, foreign currency. Count your blessings. Good hunting the rest of the day. And I'll see everyone later. Adios.